Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build, Paint, Play. I'm Dave.
Greetings, programs. I am Jake, and today we are joined by someone you may recognize, a good friend of Dave's, Trent, who has been a special guest on a recent streaming magic show, Sorry, I got magic on the brain. I was telling magic all day work. Painting show, which a lot of you have probably seen, and if not, we will show you more of that today.
Yep.
Hello, friends.
Hello. How you doing, Trent?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you all doing?
Not too bad. How is the future?
Yeah, what's it like?
Yes, it's Wednesday morning here. It's cold. We're in the middle of winter, so yeah, it's about 9 a.m. for me. Very different time to what I would normally be doing something like this.
No, that's fair. Absolutely.
What is cold for you guys? I imagine it's always like hot there.
Do you want me to tell you in the real temperature gauge, or do you want a made up one in Fahrenheit?
Give it to us and made up, because everybody watching this is not gonna. They're gonna think you're making up numbers.
So it's about 15 degrees Celsius, which is cold for us. Which I don't know. I think that's 40 Fahrenheit.
No. Did you say 15?
15 Celsius. Yeah,
15's closer to 60.
Okay.
That's like shorts weather.
It is. Yeah. Brisbane's hot, mate.
For Jake and this is true. Normally,
I'm in New England.
It'd be the same. Summer would be the same as what we've got, but so I think it's about 30 odd here today, 30 odd Celsius, but about 80% humidity. So
it's the humidity. It's always
mind you, Brisbane's humid too. So
yeah, we're 100% humidity. We are absolutely cooked here.
Nice.
One of the big things that comes up all the time when I'm doing lessons is we talk about priming and putting down your coats and doing clear coats and stuff. And I tell people all the time, like the rattle cans, and our buddy Brent from Goobertown has proven this. The temperature doesn't really matter. Like you can prime when it's below, because I think all the cans say, whatever it is, like 56 or 72 degrees to like 80 something degrees. And I'm like, Brent has been outside priming in like 30 degrees.
Yep.
Or 32, which is what, 0 for you guys. So it's like,
yep.
Like he's been outside priming in that, and he's primed when it's hotter than like in the 90s, and it's fine. It's the humidity. So we always talk about like if you live in Arizona where it's like a desert and it's like 0% humidity and 130 degrees, priming is impossible because the paint will literally dry on its way to the model, and you'll just like stick sand to the model basically. And then if you're in like a place that's super humid, it's the opposite. It like you're catching water droplets and sticking to the model, and it'll never cure. Like your models are always sticky. Like I assume you just airbrush everything inside.
I actually prime with Games Workshop Chaos Black Spray. I have done for 30 years. It's the greatest undercoat ever. And yeah, sometimes it does create problems with the humidity, but yeah.
I'm going to 100% agree with you on the Chaos Black Spray. Awesome. I'm going to say hi to folks in the chat. We've got Scott Radham is here. He says, looking forward to the conversation. Wants to hear Trent's take on the show and the obvious bias the Swedes have. They hate Aussies but love the Brits. It's because they always they show that they hate you by putting you at the back all the time and putting Andy Wardle at the front.
It's got nothing to do with our respective heights and all to do with cultural bias. So absolutely spot on.
Yeah. Scott says it's quite ugly to watch, honestly. Luis is here. Hello, Luis. Mark Maxey, Chris Kemmig, Patrick Keith is here, and Vicky as well. Hi. Natalia's on, checking it out. Must be super early in the morning for Natalia, which is great. Kat Swift is here as well, and Dave Hummel. Josh Sawyer too. I'm sure we've got some others, but drop your name in the chat and say hi. Yes, they showed the hate by seating Trent at that painting desk. So we've got lots of stuff to talk about. We'll get to the miniature master stuff a little bit later, but we've got loads of fantastic examples of Trent's artwork. I'm very excited to talk about his thinking and the planning that he goes through with that. We'll talk about a whole bunch of community building stuff, but it should all be very cool. But how have you been, Trent?
Yeah, been wonderful. My Miniature Masters experience was in April, so it's actually been quite a while since, and I came back extremely motivated to paint. So yeah, the last few months has seen a creative flurry of new projects and hobby, and yeah, I have a normal full-time job which I do alongside the hobby, and that's going well also. So yeah, life's great.
Awesome. That's cool. Jake, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Wiped out. I'm tired. It's been a long week of playing catch up. Just trying to get all my ducks in a row. Still getting caught up from being gone for San Diego Comic-Con. So just getting us caught up. And then this past week, there's a lot of big launches. So
yeah,
just busy. I am psyched on a good positive hobby note. A couple of things I was waiting for my heresy list that have been out of stock just got restocked. So I just picked up the Typhon. It's the big like Slanderous Spartan. It's like a Vindicator.
Yep.
So I just got that back in stock. So snagged one of those, and I'm converting the Red Corsairs Reeve Captain is going to be my Legion champion for my Warhounds. So
nice.
It's a cool model.
Excellent. I've been I was away in Louisiana over the weekend.
I saw the photo.
So I'm that was a great time. Chance to spend a weekend with my eldest. We went down to check out universities. So she was very excited. She loved Tulane. So we'll see what happens when she applies.
Is that the front runner?
That's the front runner at the moment. Okay. Tulane or Manhattan University, but should be pretty crazy. Excellent. What I was saying actually before the show is we've got a lot of and at the start there we've got a lot of fantastic pieces of art from Trent to look at. So I think we're going to jump into the slideshow earlier than we usually would. But first, actually, I think I've just organized this poorly, but that's me, right? I will ask, how is our sound?
Guys, it's going beautifully.
Yeah, no one knows. No one would know we're screwing anything up except Dave narrates. So then
I do. I narrate all the terrible things that are happening. This isn't a screw up though. It's just that I put I put like a slide at the start, but then I need to switch out of that slideshow and to go to a different one.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's part of the charm of the show, I've heard.
So we've been told. But we mentioned a few times over the last few weeks, this is a miniature I painted up as tribute to our friend Jeff Smith, friend of the show, who passed away in March this year. We've been selling raffle tickets. We've sold a whole bunch, 143 tickets, I think. So we are about to do the raffle drawing. So we can let everybody know. So this is the annoying part, is I need to do that now. It's because I get to press all of the buttons, Trent. That's what it is. And I need to keep myself.
Trent, it's totally fine. I don't mind letting him drive. This is fine.
Yeah. Okay, next week you're driving then.
No. Like I said, that's why I'm fine letting you drive.
Okay. Let me get rid of these ads. Okay, so we've gone through, put all 183 entries on the wheel. I am ready to press the button. Who wants to do a drum roll?
Not me, but good luck, everyone.
Good luck. So clicking the button now. There we go.
Let's see.
It's exciting.
It is. The winner is
Brian Delaney.
Brian Delaney. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Congratulations, Brian. You are the winner. We will talk about getting the model to you. Excellent.
Good on you, Brian.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well done. Okay.
Dave did a great job painting that up too. It's super cool. He the head and the hand are 3D sculpts that a buddy of Dave's did, and then Dave did a phenomenal job painting the brush.
Yeah, so that looks like a real brush. Yeah, it was Patrick Keith, sculpt dude from Bombshell Minis, who was in the chat. Thank you very much, Patrick. We're excited to work on that. But yeah, there we go. $915 going to Jeff's family for final expenses.
Very cool.
But yeah. Okay. Next up. I'm going to thank the Army Painter, who are our season sponsors. Jake and I are members of the Army Painter Factory team. And we encourage you to go along and check out their Painted Perspectives series on the Army Painter blog. So this is from Veriel, who is on Instagram as Let's Get Warhammered.
That's a great name.
It is a great name, isn't it? But yeah, go and check out her Instagram. Check out the article. Just very cool miniature painting overall. But yeah,
hang on, Dave. Wait, like so that's one of the new Bliss Barb Seekers, and then who's that superhero in the front there?
That is Michael Fassbender.
Correct. Okay.
Cool.
That's technically correct, which is of course the best time.
The best kind of correct.
Yeah.
I will admit. So Jake grew up reading comics. I did not grow up reading comics, so I know the comic book characters from the films. And
so he will always give me whoever played them. He never gets the names.
Excellent.
We also would have taken Sir Ian McKellen.
Right. That's fair. Awesome. Just checking the chat. Sean Gleason has joined us. Hi, Sean.
What's up, Sean?
Excellent. Scott says he said, "Hey, Natalia, I really enjoyed your Art of book." Natalia says, "Thanks for that."
And that book, by the way, did you know that, Dave?
I did.
A very nice bit about me in that book.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's where I got the photo that I used for the thumbnail when Natalia came out for a class that you organized. So yeah, definitely cool there. But Josh also says, "Sounds good and lag free this week."
Nice.
Yay.
That is good.
So excited about that. Next up, I will just mention, so my third gig, my third job is working on the Trench Wire for Trench Crusade. So head to the Trench Crusade website, trenchcrusade.com. Look for the Trench Wire tab at the top and find out more about Operation Leviathan, which is the worldwide gaming campaign that we've got kicking off in September. speaking of Trench Crusade, I last Wednesday ran my gaming group through our first games of a campaign, which was a lot of fun. Definitely cool. So some of our friends from the show were playing in that, including Joey Maguire. But great night. We've got another one lined up for next week. When I was in New Orleans, I saw the strangest looking front of a Warhammer store.
It looks like it was like an apothecary.
Yeah, kind of. It was just really bizarre. In that, down the front there was like a cabinet, and there was a sign about like the Citadel color range, and that was it. And then there was a set of stairs that went up to the main area in the back where the store was. But just I didn't know that it was going to be there. I just happened to go to the Vietnamese restaurant next door for lunch.
It looks really small.
It is really small.
Okay.
Absolutely tiny. And it may or may not be open for like less than 3 days a week. But
Dude, the U.S. business is in such a weird spot right now. Like Dave and I remember the old days and like the before times. And
yep,
man.
Well, amusingly enough, Trent also used to work for Games Workshop.
Yeah, of course. That's how we know everybody.
So, and while I was in New Orleans, caught up with Adam Abramovich, who is the tactical market. No, what's his?
I think he has a new title now.
Yeah, that's right. He's brand commander. There we go. That's what it is. Global brand commander. So I met up with him and his family for brunch, which was really nice. And then just on our way to the airport, we stopped at the sculpture garden where they had an enormous skull. So
somebody clearly used the Citadel Basin kit here.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Or somebody misprinted their 3D skull print. But yeah, it's
they used
wild.
the Citadel Basin kit for a game of Epic by the looks of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. That'd be it.
This will be a giant skull.
But
put some hanging moss over here.
Yep. The standard Bayou.
Nailed it.
All good.
Goblin Green base. Look, they got the flock there and everything. We're all set.
Gotta love it. And then Jake, I thought I'd throw this photo in after the show last week. Jake did a little bit of painting and sent me through this picture of his lieutenant for his warband.
Yeah, they are all done now. This is like this guy at this photo is like 80% done. So now they're like based and weathered up, and all the cloth is painted. The wolf pelt is painted. But this was me kind of testing out some paint schemes. It's really weird. I always try to like keep my palette pretty limited. And by the time I was done, I had like 30 something paints on my desk. And I was like, how did I do this? It's only like 4 colors. It's like, it's like white, silver, red, and gold. And that's basically it. Like, I guess there's a little bit of brown, but literally I was like, how did I get up with all these paints out? But they came out good. I was really like, Dave printed these for me.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm doing New Antioch, but I'm running them as the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth. So I've got 3 machine armor guys. One's the lieutenant. The other 2 are just the guys. And then I have 2 stormtroopers, a combat engineer, and a sniper.
Yeah.
But they're fun. They're all done. They'll be up in whenever Tyler does his update for the warband thing that we're doing on the Army Painter Factory team. That was a Trench Arena.
The Arena Challenge.
Okay, Arena Challenge. So
the
rest of these guys will be up. But finally finished them. I got to thank Dave for the 3D prints because they came out great.
Yeah. Excellent.
What printer do you use, Dave?
That's printed on a that was on a Saturn 3, the Elegoo Saturn 3. So yeah, at the moment at the office I'm using a Saturn S, so that like the step down from the Saturn 3. Mainly because I think the last time I used the Saturn 3 I cracked the screen, so we haven't got a replacement screen yet. But still enjoying still getting some great results out of the Saturn S.
Yeah, I mean the quality of the print is really good. The wings, I forget where I got the wings. I think somebody else printed me the wings a couple of years ago, and I had extra ones, so I put them on all of the machine armor guys because they look great. My wife saw this and she goes, "Wow, you did a great job on on the little face, and I was like, I did not paint that. I was like, I just weathered that up and made it look like it has depth because it's gold. I did not. I would be like, I would not be doing this if I was able to paint. I'd be like, hey, Jim Wapple, like, let me show you what's up. So
no, all good. I think the next stuff we've got is for
Scott says, GW to Louisiana. You idiots! We said Tiny Skull Big Store.
Excellent. And Amos has joined us as well, and Justin O'Connor. Welcome. Trent, so have you done a bit of 3D printing as well?
I like to pay people to do it.
Sure.
I feel like I have enough hobbies, and if I get into 3D printing, I will have more models that I know what to do with. So I very wisely stay away from that. But I did borrow one from a friend. I had an Elegoo Mars.
Okay.
It was amazing. It blew my mind. And I handed it back to him very quickly, so I didn't get
sucked into
big financial trouble.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I make sure that I do my 3D printing alongside somebody for who 3D printing is a hobby. So if something goes wrong, I can say, oh, and they can go, let me look at your settings. So they check the settings, they tweak things, and they go, oh, try this, and then it works again. Yeah. And I'm happy with that. So I also do not want it to become a hobby, but it's definitely going well. But excellent. I think we've got now we're going to jump into talking about your painting. Is that cool?
Cool.
Yep. You excited about that? I know I am. Let's take a look. Clicking the right buttons.
Pretty good.
This is amazing. Pretty good.
Thank you. This piece is actually my SMC. I won silver in the Masters and at Monty as well. So this is probably one of the strongest things I've painted in a long time. What do you want to know about it?
I think you should stick with it. I think you got a future in this, kid. I think you'll be all right.
Thank you.
When did you head to SMC and Monty? Was that
it was actually 2019. It was right before COVID. Was the year that I won for this. So that's 7 years ago now. But we obviously had a then 2-year period where we couldn't travel, and I haven't really been able to do much international travel since then because of life circumstances. But I'd love to get back there. Amazing experience being at those events. Very motivating and very demoralizing at the same time.
Right. Okay. Demoralizing in
the absolute multitude of works that you see. It is overwhelming in the scope and the quality. Like, you just look at the amount of hours that's in the room is unbelievable. And so there's all of the people that I'm inspired by bring their pieces, and getting to see them in their hand is both, as I said, inspiring. It makes you want to be better. But it's also like, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to be that good. So,
okay.
What is this? What is this piece from?
These are actually 2 models that are separate busts. They're both from Karol Rudik, who's a Polish sculptor and Golden Demon winning artist. He does vampires and demons and angels and stuff. So they're 2 separate busts. And the original premise was that the angel figure is actually on the right. She is like a fallen angel. She, on the back of the model, she's got scars where her wings have been removed, and she's obviously bound and chained. And so to me, that told a story of, she's been captured by the bad guys, and they're taking her down into the pits of hell. And so I grabbed one of his other models, which looked like a demon, and just tried to tell a story with the 2 of them.
Her headpiece is awesome.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's such a cool shape and design, and you can't see it in this shot, but behind her, she's got both of her arms chained in this metal like manacle, and the manacle is unreal as well. It's such a cool model. You can't get it anymore. Sorry.
Yeah. How much time did you put into this one?
Yeah, so I'm quite quick, right?
Sure.
I probably put about 12 hours into that.
Wow, that is amazing.
That's phenomenal.
How big are these? Like,
So those are 1 to 12 scales. So yeah,
wow.
it's slightly bigger than maybe most busts you see, but they're not massive. They're
Yeah.
That's helpful, I'm sure, but about that big.
Yeah, right. Nice. Wait, with regular people's hands or Trent Denison hands?
No,
My
that's
hands.
like I assume that she's about the same size. She's about the same size, I assume, as like a GW ogre.
Yeah, probably a smidge smaller, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. But no, it's fantastic. I mean, looking at this, I just love this piece. There's so much, so much wonderful stuff going on. They obviously the like non-metallic metals. You've got the OSL. You've got translucent material, and on top of that, the work on the skin, both of the angel and the demon, are just incredible as well. That there's that real depth of color, that lifelike sort of representation, as lifelike as you can get with a green demon. But
I mean, the snake looks super realistic.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like even though you're doing obviously fanciful things, like she's essentially just a figure steady. The demon, yeah, obviously the demon is not real, but the snake is real. So a lot of it's just like color theory, and your color choices is awesome. You've got like obviously your source lighting. They're both kind of lit from like, I would say 1 o'clock, kind of like in front of them over here somewhere, and then you've got all the warm light coming out from underneath. It's really, really cool. It's very well done.
Spectacular.
Thank you. Yes, it's probably one of the pieces I'm most proud of. So I'm really happy we started with it. It's all downhill from here.
I like how obviously people are obviously reacting like crazy, and my favorite is Dave. So our buddy David is working on an entire chapter, like he's doing an entire chapter of Space Marines, and he's always working on stuff and adding stuff, and he's like, 12 hours, I have to go rethink my paint life now.
Scott actually asked a question in the chat. I haven't been to Gary's house in Vegas, but some of my pieces are actually there, so I am hoping to go soon to visit the vault.
Yeah. No, that'd be fantastic. But no, awesome. The next piece, I think, if you think it's not all downhill, we're going to go on a roller coaster ride, I think.
Okay.
Up and down. Sweet. Right? Up and down.
Okay.
So this is obviously the seasons, right?
Yeah, so I'll tell a story about this. So I went to SMC and Monty, and got my my medals, and I was super chuffed, and I was really motivated. And at that SMC, 4 companies came together and released 4 figures from each of the different brands that represented the 4 elements. So that's air, fire, earth, and water. It was called the League. It was Chimera, Aradia, Michael Contreras, and Nocturna models. And so each of, most people bought one. I bought all 4, and I was just so inspired about painting. When I got home, I pretty much threw myself into this and did it 2 weeks after I'd gotten back from Monty. So yeah, there's actually a lot of, this is probably one of my most considered pieces. I tried to sort of follow a color wheel in this. It's circular. It goes around through the color wheel. And then the positioning of everything is also considered. So air is obviously the highest because it's the lightest, and then fire, and then earth, and then water. So I put a lot of effort into this, and I think this is one of the best pieces, but I never got to enter at anything because, COVID happened, and so it just sat on my shelf for a while.
Right.
It's nice.
It's super cool. The models are awesome.
Yeah.
Are they all done by the same sculptor?
No, 4 different sculptors. Yeah, pretty cool actually that they did that. Yeah. They've actually just announced that they're doing another thing where they're coming together. So you can follow their Instagrams and stuff.
Was it did they work? I got a follow-up question from Jake's. Did they work to was it one concept artist, or?
I think the 4 creative directors of those companies came together and worked collaboratively on what the concept they were going for was, and I think maybe there was one concept artist,
right,
who then handed them out to the other sculptors,
right?
But I'm not sure. I just love the models.
Yeah. I got to ask as well. Spectacular work. I'm surprised there, but There we go. Oh, sorry. Just noticed Mystic Amethyst Minis says, "Oh my God, hey Trent."
Hi, Mr. Amethyst.
JB Painting is here as well,
Yeah.
and
Hey.
Hank has joined us too. The one of the things that we'll see as we go through some of these other pieces and that we've seen already in these two is taking multiple elements and bringing them together. What is it about that kind of approach that you like? What's the...
Yeah, cool question. So because I'm quite fast, I'll paint a bust in about 4 to 6 hours, and
Right.
so I find that really, it's fun. It's relaxing. Sometimes I want to challenge myself creatively, and I find by pushing multiple models together, what you have then is all of these interesting questions that you have to ask yourself as you're painting, like how does the light interact with all of these elements in the same way? How does atmosphere interact, and how do I ensure that this piece reads correctly? And I just find that process quite enjoyable, quite stimulating. So I've gravitated towards these big projects where I'm combining lots of different models. It's heavily inspired by, when I was growing up, model train kits, and I had this shop near me that when I was growing up, they had huge model kits, and I loved it, and I've always wanted to do that, and I never had enough money or enough skill.
Right.
So now, as I'm older and I've got a little bit more of both of those things, it's just been something I've done. I just pour myself into these big, crazy projects.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Fantastic. The next one, I think I'm expecting this is another one of those approaches.
Yeah, exactly. The Elements was the first attempt at that, where I tried to bring models together.
Yeah.
This one is sort of the next iteration, where I added a little bit more of a story and a lot of different models. And this one I used different scales. So I had scale representation changes, which I thought would work really well. So it's called Fairy Garden. So the main model there is, I think, also from Aradia as well, actually, a fairy model. And then there's Blacksmith Miniatures, which is the little chick on the bird. Some models from a game called Moonstone, which are little fairies and stuff.
Right. Yep.
And so it's just supposed to be the scale is, obviously I use grass there to represent how small it was intended to look, little mushrooms and what have you.
Yeah. Just that whole the whole idea that the Fey Kingdom is full of varying sizes of creatures.
I don't know if you guys have ever read the Dresden Files, but I fucking love the Dresden Files. And so when I was painting these little guys, I was just thinking about the fairy part in Dresden Files. If you haven't read it, it's worthwhile. Very good.
It is. That's one of my brother's favorite series. I think he owns every book.
I like your brother.
Excellent. We've got Rob as well has joined us from Sydney. Hey,
Rob. Hi, Rob.
Excellent. Fantastic. But I think you've done another thing here that I really enjoy, which is that push that focus to the central fairy with sort of by desaturating tones around the outside and pushing that saturation to the middle.
Yeah. There's a lot of tricks like that when you get into display painting, where you're using value and saturation to draw focus to where you want the viewer to look.
Yeah.
And particularly on a piece that has multiple figures, that's one of those things that you have to really consider. You want the viewer to look where you want them to. And you do that, you have to consider that. And if you don't, these big pieces tend to get a little bit lost in the weeds. This one I was pretty happy with the outcome of this one. I think this is a fun and cool piece.
Yeah. And I think you've got some fantastic lines as well that pull the line across here, and the sort of top left to bottom right is a very strong line through the piece, the composition.
I gotta ask, because I'm a terrain guy too. How did you make the giant leaves? Are those did you buy plastic plants and then repaint them?
The flower is actually a part of the fairy model.
Okay.
All of the leaves I bought from IKEA. It's a plant from IKEA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The best tricks are all hacks. I love it. I cheat all the time.
It's not cheating when there's no rules, mate.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Excellent.
It's just technique. Scott wanted to know, painting that fast, do you spend a significant time planning before you pick up the brush, or do you just kind of do it like on the fly?
No planning.
Nice.
Just balls deep. Get in there. Have a go.
Nice.
Awesome. And Rob also says, howdy, Trent. Did we ever meet in the Oz Golden Demon days?
I only ever competed in one Golden Demon. I won a bronze. Very, very proud of that. Was at Australia, I think, 2004, 2005? Long time.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, I doubt we did because I wasn't very good back then. I'm not very good now, but I've improved a little bit.
Excellent. There we go. And Mr. Gamather says, no planning, all vibes, taking notes.
I mean, I'm here for it. I like it.
Absolutely.
Rules are for fools. I'm not planning anything.
This is a, I really love post-apocalyptic takes on things.
Oh, I thought this was like a nature study in Australia, like that.
No, so this, I love, this is one of my favorite things I've ever done. So this is the Wizard of Oz.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Post-apocalyptic version of the Wizard of Oz. So first of all, Emerald is a city in Queensland in Australia. And that sign in the background there is actually what an Australian road sign looks like. So the Emerald City is a homage to Wizard of Oz. So then we've got Dorothy at the front with her ruby slippers, Toto next to her. The Crow, if you ever saw the movie The Crow with Brandon Lee. So that is the face paint and the tattoo from The Crow. So that's obviously the Scarecrow. And then you've got the Cowardly Lion and the Tin Man. And if you look around, there's little posters which are like have the heart, brain, and courage. There's lots of little callbacks to Wizard of Oz. I love Wizard of Oz.
Very cool.
Excellent. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's great. That's like a D&D party right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm just taking it all in. I just lost myself for a second.
And you built this whole thing from like random models, or is this like
so the two on the outside, the Cowardly Lion and the Tin Man, are both from Black Sun Miniatures. The lion is actually normally being ridden by Savage Beauty or a He-Man model, and then the two in the middle are from Chimera models. So yeah, they're both from different manufacturers which have fused together to create this story. This one was just a delight because I actually love Wizard of Oz. Do you remember that sequel that Wizard of Oz had called Return to Oz? Do you remember that?
Yep.
No.
I actually thought that was a fever dream I had for years because I could never find any record of it. And then I remember a few years ago I looked it up and it actually did exist. There was a sequel to Wizard of Oz.
Farouza Balk plays Dorothy.
Exactly. Farouza Balk plays Dorothy. And then there was
TikTok.
dudes on roller skates and there was a big pumpkin head guy. Loved it. So this is probably more inspired by the second one than the first one.
Right. I did not know there was a second one.
It's actually not bad. There's some cool stuff in it.
Yeah. I praise it. Not bad.
So I think what happened was they released the first one and everyone loved The Wizard of Oz. Then they released Return to Oz. And it was so traumatizing for everyone that watched it that they just cut it from everyone. No one ever talked about it again.
Right.
I think it's because of when it came out. I think they saw how well like Labyrinth did. And then it's years after that. And I think during that time, that's Hollywood was kind of going kind of darker. So they wanted to take like a kind of more darker, not horror per se, but like definitely a different approach.
Yeah.
The whole premise, Dave, is that Dorothy was taken to a hospital where she got shock therapy because everyone thought she was crazy after she got back from the first one. And so then she gets electric shocks and then she goes back to Oz. But the story is kind of like, well, is it actually real or is it all in her head? Who knows?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Nice. I will have to track it down. Excellent. That's good. Just checking in the chat. Hank says, I've wondered for years how Dave paints fast and is so productive, and now to learn from Trent is painting busts 5-6 hours. It's an Australian thing. Yeah. You got to get things done quickly because
Yeah, because like
Thank
you
God,
you,
so
you could
quick
be
on your
killed by a
wet palette.
spider or something else at any minute. So
yeah, you can't sit still for too long. You got to keep moving. But Justin O'Connor says the creature to the right is actually an animal we have that's native here to Australia. We ride them to work.
nice.
True.
Yep. There we go. Excellent. To the left. I guess to the scarecrows, right? Stage right. Yep. There we go. Fantastic. So next up.
All right. I don't know if you've read this book series.
Yep.
but
This is
also-
Icewind Dale. This is the
You are
R.A.
spot on.
Salvatore series.
Yep.
He
Yep.
lives close to my store. Very nice
Does
guy.
he? Salvatore, what a legend.
Super nice guy.
So this was inspired by one figure, which is the dark elf with the two swords, and that figure was obviously like, oh, well, that's Drizzt. So
Yep.
I then started looking around for other figures that I thought could represent the other characters from the books, and so each of those is from a different range, and yeah, so all of the characters from Icewind Dale are represented there. We've got Cady Bree, Wulfgar, Bruenor, little Regis the halfling, and Drizzt and Gwenwyvar. If you've never read the books, it's a full D&D Forgotten Realms book series. It's pretty good. I enjoyed reading it, but I wouldn't say it's a literary classic by any stretch. But if you like D&D,
there's a million of them. If you like classic fantasy, if you're a D&D fan, you'll love it. If you just like fantasy, it's really good. The original trilogy, which is Crystal Shard, Streams of Silver, and the Halfling's Gem, like those three books, that original trilogy, chef's kiss. Like it is fantastic. And then the studio was like, these are great. You should make more. And he was like, okay. So he made a second trilogy, and it's a prequel, and those are also great. And then
he did
four
four more.
And then he was like, okay, and he did another trilogy
And then he did
afterwards.
another 3.
And then there's like a spin-off which has another character, Artemis. They're all good because R.A. is a really good author. But if you read the original trilogy, those 3 books, like you can't go wrong. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. Yep. Everybody in the chat is
agreeing. Everybody's on top of it. They got it.
Yep. Absolutely fantastic there. Cool. And Brandon Paint says really love the mix of miniatures, the miniature lines as well in the paint pieces. But yeah, fantastic. The as you, I did want to ask about this one with the is this like from a setting in the books? I've not read the books at all. So
yeah, so in Forgotten Realms, there's a place in the far north called Icewind Dale, which is very cold, and there's a dwarf tribe that lives there, the Battlehammers, and then there's also these barbarian tribes that live. And the first book is all about how the barbarian tribesman Wulfgar sort of gets adopted by Bruenor, who's the dwarf, and becomes friends, even though they're sort of enemies. So it's set in this very northern cold tundra type environment. And yeah, each of the characters is from that place. So it is a specific place in the book, but yeah.
Cool. Excellent. No, I love it. We've been joined in the chat by Noodle Water. It says, how many of these are you bringing on the weekend?
Yeah, this weekend's Queensland Model Hobby Expo in Brisbane. So it's a cool little show that has not just figures, but also tanks and boats and Gundam and all sorts of cool stuff. So I'll usually enter a few pieces, and I have I think 8 entries for the weekend. So one of them's a big one that I'm working on, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Yep. Excellent.
This one is Kickstarter. So these are all from one manufacturer. It's called Hera Models, and they're all chaos themed guys, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
This whole Kickstarter is like, they're like, okay, I'm a huge Adrian Smith fan. What if we sculpt Chaos Warriors by Adrian Smith? Like, that's literally, this looks like an Adrian Smith like drawing.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's the best. So I bought all of the models in the Kickstarter, and I just decided to put them all on one base. I added little nurglings, so there's little nurglings all over the base. It's just a full homage to my early days as a Warhammer Chaos Nuffy. Chaos has always been my favorite faction in all of the Warhammers, and Nurgle would probably be my favorite god. So this is just
that warg is awesome.
Yeah.
Sick.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Paul just asked why I'm not at work today. Paul, it is actually the Echo holiday here in Brisbane. It's one of the only public holidays that falls on a Wednesday.
Nice.
So I'm very, very happy to be that this actually lined up. Dave
Yeah.
called at the right time.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I was more chance of getting pregnant than doing this show.
Yep. So perfect timing. Love it.
I thought for sure the guy in the middle, the green guy with the Chaos Star on his back, I thought for sure that was a GW model you converted.
No, these are all 75 mil. These are all massive.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen well that guy with the star halo. I've seen him painted up quite a few times before, or at least busts of that. I think there was a bust version, but yeah, seeing these all together again, just really cool.
That's so cool. I always love some of the fantasy tropes. Like you look at that chaos guy in the middle who's about to like murder that elf, and it's like a guy, it's a male Red Sonja. Like he's basically got heavy plates on his like shins and his shoulders and like vamrances, and he's wearing a giant helmet, and he's like, all of my vulnerable bits are completely unprotected. And you're like, oh cool. Like he's like, as long as I don't get stabbed anywhere here where all of my important stuff is, I should be fine.
Enough talk.
So good.
And you also notice the figure on the left, the little wizard, is the same one that Carla painted in Miniature Masters in the Atmosphere Challenge. So
Right.
that's cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, those are super cool though. I mean, Adrian Smith gets it. That's what in my head that Chaos Warriors look like Adrian Smith's drawings. That's what they look like.
Blood Rage, Rising Sun, Ankh,
Yep.
3A games designed by Eric Lang and illustrated by Adrian Smith. Just peak.
Hate.
I love it.
Hate is great.
Yeah, absolutely. But one of the things I love here as well is that just the green either bold tones or undertones sort of circling the central figure. Just,
green is really cool. It's one of the few colors
that.
you can kind of really mess with, and green doesn't really clash with itself. Like you can kind of pile on the greens.
Green's one of the few colors that you can really easily do a cold and a warm version of.
Yeah.
Because yellow's always warm and blue's always cold. So you really generally you can change that slightly. But yeah, so you can work a lot with temperature with green, which is really fun.
Yep. Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, it's
awesome stuff. What's the next?
Rob just asked, is all my work 75s and bigger? No. I do lots of toys. And Justin, no, not Justin. Someone asked what industry I work in. I'm a regional franchise manager for a retail business is my day job.
Nice.
Yep.
Very boring.
Rob is correct. The new old world Chaos Warriors they're literally Adrian Smith drawings. Like they are huge. The new Mounted Knights are incredible. Yep. They are some of the biggest horsemen I've ever seen GW release. They are massive. They actually had to make the rectangle bases bigger.
Right. Oh yeah, they go up to 30 by 60.
Yeah, they're gigantic. Like and the guys are still like hanging off of the base. Like they're huge.
No doubt.
Oh,
I think we've got a couple of individual figures now.
Yeah.
But
I just picked this one because I really like this. It just sort of went by the wayside. Most people weren't really impressed with this, but I really like it. It's a figure by Michael Contreras. I really like the shape of it, the lines of it, and I think it's a really beautiful figure. So yeah, it's cool. Again, temperature changes there, so it's cold on the outside, it's coming into warmer in the middle to draw focus into the middle, and highest value parts on the face, it draws your eye to there, and just all the lines come into this figure, and I think it's just a really beautifully designed figure that more people should paint.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I think Michael does a lot of work with a lot of very smooth, large areas of smooth skin, and then very detailed sort of metallic accessories, right? So this crown and torques and that kind of thing. So
It is kind of cool that if you just change, like slightly keep the geometry more true, an 8-pointed star like that looks like just a normal star. And you're like, it should be a chaos star. It's not, because it doesn't look like a chaos star.
Yep. But
that's such a cool piece. There's so much going on. There's like the stone frame around the compass rose, and then is she supposed to be a fallen angel? She has like one wing.
I can't tell you what the story is. I looked at it for whatever 6 hours and I have no idea what it is, but I love
it. Cool.
Very cool.
But no, it does look absolutely beautiful. And that's and you've just faded down to blue skin. Not blue, purple, like purple skin through there.
Purple and then into blue. So it kind of goes blue into violet into red in the skins.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, magnificent. I love it.
I like all the subtle sort of verdigris you have on all the metal behind her. There's like greens and coppers, and
yeah,
that's awesome. How long was this? Like 45 minutes? Hour and 45?
Probably about 6 hours. I think I did this one on stream, so you can probably go and watch.
Cool. Excellent. Next up.
There's a jewel. These 2 miniatures are from Black Sun, but I thought it would be cool to add some Pokemons in there. Yeah. So they've each got little like animal companions. One's a phoenix and one's a little snake. Like they're dueling as well. Yeah, these are just cool models. Again, just one of my favorite things I painted that people probably forgot I painted.
And was this was something you just wanted to do for a bit of fun, just to
most of the projects that I do, I don't do a lot of commissions. I said this to you before, Dave. My hobby is the thing that provides me joy, provides me, it's the thing I get excited about, and so I don't ever want that to become a job. So I don't do a lot of commissions. Very, very occasionally I do, and if I do accept them, it's because it's a model that I want to paint, and I get to do whatever I want with it. I'll only accept a commission if I have full creative control. So most of the time, what I do is I just paint models that I want to paint. And then, if people are interested in purchasing them, then that's fantastic. But if not, it's not about that.
Sure.
So this is just 2 cool models that I wanted to paint, and I'd added some other stuff to it. And that's pretty much everything that I do is that mindset. I just want to make something cool.
Right. Nice. Excellent. So for you, do you think, I know that for me, and I've seen it time and time again, for me, it's the process. It's the, not even necessarily the planning, but just the sitting here and painting is the part that really grabs me. That's the part that I want to do.
Yeah, it's the
experience. When I get to the end, it's like, this piece is done. What's next? What's the next thing I'm going to be painting?
Yeah,
you guys are from another planet. Like that is not my process at all. It's always one of my favorite things about meeting all the painters that we know across the industry is how, like, there's, like you were saying, there's no rules, there's no right way, and everybody has a different take on like what they like or their process or how they do a setup or how they get into it or whatever. And like it's so cool hearing it, but at the same time, my brain is like, you guys are speaking another language. That is not how my brain processes painting projects.
No, I just love painting. It's been a constant in my life for 30 years, and so I enjoy the process. The result is the less important part for me. So it is what it is.
Yep.
Are these guys also 72 mil?
75?
75.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they're super cool models, though.
Yeah. Excellent. The guy on the right with the big 2-headed axe. Whereabouts is he from?
Both of those are from Black Sun.
Black Sun.
It's a jewel called Severax versus Solrak. That's actually a piece that you can buy. You might not be able to buy it anymore. Black Sun's been out of stock for a while on some things.
Sure.
Hank wants to know, he was wondering, but based on this duel, has Trent seen and does he like the Salute the Jugger?
So
I've never heard of that.
Salute of the Jugger. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you haven't heard of that, Trent?
No.
Oh man, you got to go and check it out. It's a movie from the 80s. Rutger Hauer, Joan
Ooh.
Chen, Vincent D'Onofrio, isn't it? But it's
How have I not heard about this?
it's in America it's called Blood of Heroes.
Okay.
But Salute of the Jugger, it's actually was filmed around Cooper Pedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yep. So it's which Cooper Pedy's a town in South Australia, famous for opal mining.
Opal mining, yeah.
And all the rock spoil forms large mounds of dirt and stones. But
I've written it down to have a look at.
I have seen this like years ago. It's like Joan Chen's first movie. She's like a teenager.
Yeah, it's not long before she was on Twin Peaks. But yeah, you definitely have to check it out, Trent.
I will.
I'm not saying it's great, but it's
he's saying it's great. He's saying it's great.
I'm saying I really enjoy it. There we go. Next up,
Kingdom Death.
That is super cool.
Kingdom Death, the greatest game ever, and Jake's wrong.
I get it. I didn't say it's a bad game. It's fine. Like, there's just not a lot of people that have played it because it's impossible to get.
Yeah, so this one actually is just a cool. Like Kingdom Death has released a range of busts over the last few years, and they've been really fun. And I just tried to paint in a slightly different style, and I like it. It's kind of like this anime version. It's not really how I paint normally, I don't think, but yeah, it's just beautiful model. She's got some absolutely huge tracts of land on her, and that's glorious.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a. This might sound weird, like a wizard airbrushed on the side of a van, kind of.
Yeah.
I
was going for that, like that, not comic book, but like anime style, different lines, different to how I normally paint.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and that's all in-game stuff. It's white lion armor, and she's wearing so all the colors are correct for the lore.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I really love the work on the hair that you've done. And just the little dot highlights coming through there.
I like the cartoon, like glossy light reflections you did on her shoulder and her bust, where it's like the white dot and then a second white dot, just to make sure that you are like, oh, that's a reflection. Like, that's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Fun model to paint.
Yep,
that's neat.
Armandale has asked Dave, did you ever cross paths with Dino when he was a red shirt, or did you already move to the US?
Do you want me to tell that story, Dave?
Sure.
Dave and I did actually work at the same time. So he was you were head of White Dwarf. I'm not sure what your role was within the Games Workshop organization, but you were definitely a person that was above me in terms of the hierarchy of Games Workshop in Australia. And we were at a grand opening together for the Brisbane Games Workshop store when it first opened. And I was very enthusiastic, very excited. And also I was a giant pest when I was younger. And Dave and I had a little bit of an altercation where I did something that I definitely shouldn't have done. And Dave called me out on it. But the thing that has stuck with me, and I'm sure Dave had completely forgotten about this, was the way that he handled that has actually influenced a lot of my approach to conflict resolution. He was very respectful in the way that he shared his feedback. He didn't belittle me in front of other people. He took me off to the side and communicated why what I had done was incorrect and how that had impacted. And he gave me the why, and then really coached me through why what I'd done was a dumb fuck move. And so that interaction has stuck with me for 20 plus years. And I said to Dave the other day before we got onto the chat, that was something that stuck with me. And I appreciated that. And it was nice to be able to tell him that I appreciated that experience and that interaction. So, but yes, we did work together for a little bit. It was a great time in my life, the Games Workshop era.
That would have been like 98, I think.
Yeah.
Probably 97, 98.
2000 maybe, I think. 2000.
Oh, was it?
Started.
Oh, was it? Oh, was it 2000? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Christ. I don't know. Yeah, it must have been then. If that's when you started, must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, my memory of a lot of that time is not as good as it probably could be. I think I've had a lot of beers between now and then. But no, that's cool. That's good. But yeah, I think at the time I was like studio manager was the official title.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But no, I'm sure that also that Trent is being very generous in his description of my dressing down. I was probably a bit more terrible than that, but at least now we can talk again about cool toy soldiers and
Exactly.
wonderfully painted
We're
miniatures.
still in it 20 plus years later. That's awesome.
It was definitely cool. So, and again, this one was just from your enthusiasm for Kingdom Death, your love of Kingdom Death. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know, this is supposed to be Athena, goddess of wisdom and war.
Yep.
And the Athens, the actual symbol for Athens was an owl, but it was also a nautical state in Greece. It was very much a naval power. And so they also had a lot of fish emblems. So that's why I chose to go a fish instead of an owl for this shield. And this was right after I come back from an event and I was super motivated to paint, and I just wanted to try some non-metallic metal and do some interesting stuff with this beautiful figure, which is from Squidmar Miniatures, I think, off the top of my head. So yeah, it's just a beautiful figure, and I picked this angle because it shows how cool I am at freehand, but the front angle is probably better. Like, it's a great model.
The shield is cool. I like how you painted an anglerfish on it too. It has the little antenna.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. I think again, I would say that the texture, the approach to the texture on the shield as well is just
like that shield has been through it.
It's been through it. But it's not. It feels like it's not trying to be like hyper realistic. It's just got that. There's an impression that just gives you that great depth and knowledge of wear of the shield.
Yeah,
but
I'm not a very good technical painter, right? I know I'm quite good. I'll accept that, but I'm not at the level of the best painters in the world. You know, Natalia does stuff that blows my mind, and so. But what I can do is create a lot of interesting things very quickly, and I think this shield sort of highlights the way I like to approach miniature painting, which is just it's about the essence of what you're trying to do rather than really working on the details and having this super refined look. You can get the feeling and the essence of what you're trying to tell without necessarily having to spend 500 hours on a piece.
Yeah.
A lot of your color work, especially like on the shield as an example, it reminds me a lot of like Roman's work. Like Roman does a lot of like very intentional, really big blocky highlights, and then he'll just kind of refine down and refine down and refine down and refine down to get to a certain point. And that's kind of what you did, because like when you look at it overall, your brain is like, oh, it's gold. And even though NMM is like not something I enjoy, I think that you did such a great job in here, and it reads really well just because of the way you did it, just the way that the warmth works on the shield. And then you've got little spots of like, you know, the cool with the black and the shadows and the verdigris in all the recesses and stuff. It's a really, really cool study in like just kind of understanding like form language and how like light play works and things like that. It's really, really well done. It's also very in the moment with the Odyssey being in theaters.
It is.
Her being sort of the patron for Odysseus.
Yeah. That's awesome. Fantastic. Next up.
So this is where we're starting to get into what I like to call my diorama era, my hot girl era, where I start taking models and trying to tell a story. So this one I think is called Blood Moon, if I remember rightly what I named it. The model that's in the center of this horrific scene is actually the same angel that I did in that bust combo, the very first one you saw. So it's the same figure, but instead of it being a bust version, it's a 75mm figure. And all these are from Karl Rudik, so they're all vampires. Okay. So they're all different vampires. And if you have a look, there's a story. She's got a heart ripped out of her chest. The guy on the right is holding a heart, and he's giving it to the king of the vampires. And then all of the other vampires are standing around holding axes for no reason. But that's as far as I could get with the story.
It kind of has vibes of like all the vampire clans from Warhammer, because the guy on the right looks like he's a blood dragon.
Exactly. And then you've got Necrarch sitting at the table, and then you've got Von Carstein
action going on.
Yeah, So and then Lamians, the girl on the left's a Lamian. So yeah, it's Karl Rudik's a big Warhammer guy. He's won Slayer Swords, and he's heavily inspired by a lot of stuff like that. So one thing that is cool, I learned how to wire electronics. So in the window up the top, I didn't send you this photo, but there's actually a moon that lights up. So you can turn it on and a moon lights up. And I don't know if I sent you Neon Nights, which is another big one, but it's it's all. I learned how to wire electronics, so there's flashing lights and sirens and shit. It's good fun.
So with these models all being 75mm, how big is this?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's like
this one's probably I would say 30 centimeters wide and 30 centimeters tall. This is one of the smaller dioramas that I've done.
Right. Excellent. That's great. And that's 12 inches for folks.
Yeah, I was going to say for everybody at home, that's about 12 to 13 inches by 12 to 13 inches.
Yeah.
So about a square foot, this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's fantastic.
That's pretty good. In an IKEA cabinet, that would take up one whole section. You could just put the whole thing in
slide
there.
in. You're away.
Slide in the Kallax. Awesome.
This piece is I'm just basically mic dropping the fact that I get to paint this. So I don't know if you know this. This is a brand of miniatures called Squidmar Miniatures.
Yep. And
it's a little Spanish sculptor by the name of Lucas Pina, and he's had this little range where he releases a model every 2 months, and it was a limited edition very early on, and he's changed his model now so that if anyone wants to buy it, they can buy it. He doesn't limit the number of things, but when he first started, he did a limited number of each set. So this is probably his third release. It's called the Three Witches. He did 113 of these ever. And if you tried to buy these models now, it would cost you several $1,000s.
Yeah.
I managed to get a set of these, not in the original run, but a dude sold them to me. And they were one of those holy grail models that sat on my shelf for a long time. And I thought, I'll paint them when I get good enough.
Yep.
And so they sat there for about 10 years. But I had an epiphany recently, which is that you should paint your unicorns, basically.
Right.
You'll never be as good as you want to be, you know? And so just paint these beautiful models, because why not? Why not enjoy the fact that you got these models? So I did these, and these are just, some of the most incredible models I've ever painted. I didn't do them justice in any way, shape, or form, but I'm so thrilled that I got to paint them. So yes, that's the Three Witches by Squidmar Miniatures. You would have seen a lot of his work now recently. He does lots of like little goblins riding pigs, which I think I've got one coming up, and old wizards and grannies and stuff. He's just the most incredible sculptor, and it's all physical. He is not a digital sculptor. He does it all by hand.
I like the little owls.
Yep.
Yeah. He does some fantastic little critters. Absolutely.
And the thing I love most is his hands. He just does these absolutely amazing hands. He's the best. I met him at Monty in 2019, and I don't get starstruck, and I don't ever have a problem talking to people. And I walked up to him and I was like, "Hi, Lucas. I'm Trent." I couldn't say anything else. I was so starstruck. It was the funniest thing.
Oh, that's awesome. That is fantastic. But the model now for Squidmar Miniatures is his figures are on sale for like 48 hours. Pre-order
for 48-hour window, and he finds out how many he's going to need, and then he does the casting afterwards.
Yep.
His previous model was he's going to print 120 or 150, and the sale goes out and they just disappeared like that. So yeah, now and this is I'm so happy for the guy, because yeah, he basically just does one model every 2 months, and that is enough for him to to pay all of his bills and live his life. It's amazing. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely awesome. But no, these are great, and I love that concept, because there's always something else to learn, right? Doesn't matter where you are. There's always that you can take. There's more steps to take. So yeah, always the idea of waiting is not.
Well, you'll never be good enough. You'll always think I'm just getting better and better. So yeah, I think it's accepting that, and accepting that what you do is good enough. I love it.
Excellent. Just putting in the chat, Critical Paint Studios has joined us. Says hello, chat, and Trent and everyone.
Hello, Justin.
Oh, cool. And Paul has joined us and said, I would have paid money to see Dino Starstruck.
Yes. Paul likes needling me all the time. He's a funny man. He came to Natalia's class when she was in Brisbane. Paul did.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Fantastic. There we go. Neon Nights.
Hey.
So our slideshow format isn't great for vertical, but
no.
Yeah.
Nor is this model great for showing in a photo form. There's actually a video version of it, and if you look at my Instagram, you can see it. I learned how to wire electronics. So there's actually a screen in the background that is cycling through pictures.
Okay.
Which is cool. There is about 5 different instances of things that light up across that.
Cool.
And then I also use fluorescent paints, and if you turn it under a black light, I used invisible ink, so there's hidden messages all across the thing. So every event that I took this to, I would take a little black light torch, and people could shine the torch around and see all these cool little things.
Awesome.
So it was a lot of fun to do this one. This is all models from Nico Galaxy, who's a huge supporter of Crimson Brush and a wonderful man. And it's all obviously cyberpunk girls, and yeah, it's fun.
Yep. Yeah, we've definitely seen the girl in the circle bike. We've definitely seen. I've seen that model before.
Yeah.
These are all super cool.
The photos are so hard for these projects. Like, I struggle to get good photos because this is quite vertical, but there's also a lot of weird angles happening in it. So
sure,
the top level, the angle goes in, and that chick on the hover bike is actually hanging out over the top of that. So she's actually sort of floating in the middle of the air, which is really cool. Anyway, yes, this is at Verco's. A lot of my dioramas are also at Verco's. I've been very fortunate that Gary loves these big, crazy projects.
Yeah. Yep. So how do you transport them to Verco's?
With great care and difficulty.
Yeah.
I actually have to build a bespoke box to transport all of these projects in. So every project gets its own box that's made out of wood and specifically measured and screwed down. And and then shipping is a nightmare.
Right.
It's very expensive.
You'd almost be better off just paying a friend of yours to like sit on an airplane and hold it for a day.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. But no, I think I've shipped a lot of models around the world, and I think something like this, particularly with like the girl on the bike at the top, I'd be terrified that at some point she's going to break free and be and rattle around with all of the others.
Oh God, and obliterate the whole model. Oh man.
Yeah. With these big ones, I've actually not had any breakages in any of the big ones. The small ones, little busts I've had, they've broken more than these big ones, because I obsess about trying to make sure it doesn't break, because I mean, this is where I spend hundreds of hours, where most people spend hundreds of hours on a bust. I spend hundreds of hours on this.
Yeah.
So
for sure. No, and as well, obviously, Wintel, you've done so many of them that each one you're going to get better and better at making sure they're like super rigid. But yeah, fantastic. Next up,
Another Spira.
Yep.
This is probably one of the most recent pieces that I've submitted. A lot of the stuff that you've seen has been over the last sort of 6-7 years, but this is a more recent one. It was just a bit of an exploration into non-metallic metal and interesting textures and stuff.
Yep.
It is a fun figure. It's called Sir Pigs-a-Lot, I think I called him.
Very
nice. And the texture and the coloration on the pig's face is just fantastic. But this, and the goblin face as well, super wonderful focus there. But this pauldron here,
the shoulder pad's the money shot. Yeah,
praise.
Yeah,
that is it.
That pauldron's doing a lot of work.
That's just fantastic. Just elevated above all the rest. Awesome.
That's so cool.
It's beautiful. And I think Justin's there saying I'm still a bit scared to paint this one. So jump in and do it. Give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, like we talk about this when we do lessons and stuff. You know, whether no matter what your skill level is, if you don't like something or you're not happy with it, look, dunk it in some simple green, scrub it off, or reprime it, or just let it dry and paint over it. Like it's not like it's unfixable. Like if you make a mistake, okay, I can fix that. Like,
yeah,
mistakes is how we learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
And again, it's a miniature painting. You're like, well, I got to get this heart transplant right. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit lower stakes.
Yep, for sure.
This is crazy. This is like all you need now is like the Scooby-Doo van on the bottom left, just like parking. Like they're like, all right, gang, let's check it out. Like this is phenomenal.
And again, this is my most recent big diorama. So I finished this about 8 months ago. It's called Dance Macabre, which is both a callback to the poem, which I sort of rewrote and did a little version of, but also to the original undead spell that you could cast to make your minions move.
Yeah.
So there's a little story there where there's a church, a holy church up the top left, which is being attacked by all of these undead horde. There's a necromancer standing in front of a crypt who's summoning all the little skeletons out of the ground. There's a dragon chick. These are all models from Chimera. They're all from a Kickstarter. So there's 14 models, I think, on this one.
Yeah, I've seen that like undead knight with the crazy scythe thing. I've seen that model before.
Yeah.
This one, I've seen these models up here. I think Eric Swinson painted.
Swinson did the mounted version of that. That's Asteria. And I think he also did that version of that guy. His name's Galen. Yeah, Swinson did both of those.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a huge fan of the Adrian Smith Chaos Warrior on the right. That guy's great.
Oh yeah, that's a banger. That's my favorite model to paint. So I did a lot of this stuff on my stream. So if you want to see this is the most recent, you'd probably only have to scroll back about 14 pages to see these.
Right. Nice.
The model down on the bottom left is very He-Man vibes. It's like riding like Battle Cat kind of looking thing, and
yeah, it's actually a giant lizard, and she is like how good was the movie, by the way? I watched it the other day.
The new one, it's pretty good. If anybody has it, it's free. It's free on Prime right now. It's pretty solid.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm super happy with that one. That one was one of my most challenging, but most satisfying ones.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's again, that's a massive piece, right?
Yeah, that one measures, I think it's 80 centimeters across.
Okay.
And 60 centimeters high. It's very big. It's a very big piece.
That's 2.5 feet. A little bit more than 2.5 feet wide and about 2 feet tall. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's huge. It's also got there's an element of there's a very old like Citadel Miniatures diorama that has like skeletons sort of trudging through a like green, slimy, sort of drippy sort of thing, like a fairly flat shadow box kind of feel.
Yeah, are you talking about the one with the wood elves?
Mm,
They did, where the wood elves are charging out
no.
of the forest into the skeletons.
No, it was predated. I think it's the one that inspired that one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
The
But,
piece I'm working on currently is actually inspired by a Mike McVeigh diorama, which I'm sure we'll talk about soon.
Awesome.
I love that. So
Yeah.
much of the work I do now is comes from where I came from.
Yeah. But yeah. Awesome. Then we got this piece.
When you see these one after another, I do look like a bit of a lunatic, don't I?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, if you were to go through and count the individual models, it's less than 100 so far. Right.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good point.
There you go. It's just that you've created, like, if you're talking about army painting, you've created a like an army display base for every single war paint that you painted, right? That's all it is. It's nothing crazy.
So
it's super impressive. It's super impressive, don't get me wrong, but it's wild.
I really like the I don't know what that is, like a druid guy on like the polar bear. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, that model's unbelievable. That's such a good model. Yeah, this is a Radia versus Chimera Kickstarter. These are called Hyperborea. They had two different like a Roman inspired tribe of different models, and then like a Viking Nordish sort of inspired thing. So I basically came up with the premise that the Hyperboreans were defending their homeland, that the Romans were invading, very Roman of them.
Yeah, that's what they do.
The portal in this cold northern land, and we're invading through this portal. So yeah, there's the big Roman guy at the front there. He's got SPQR, Senatus Populus Romanus, for the Senate and the people of Rome.
Yeah, I like how he's like a Roman ogre.
Yeah, exactly what he is. Exactly what he is. Kirill Kanave did the box art for that, so it didn't matter what I did. It was never going to be anywhere near as good as that. The guy at the back left, he's like some weird dwarf guy in armor. The best. I just love painting toys, right?
Yeah.
So I paint lots of toys.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, that piece is awesome.
Yeah.
Justin, I'm not sure if we're going to get art of Trent Denison, mate. It probably wouldn't be very interesting.
I think
it's if we do, it'll be all photos. Like the first page will just say, "I don't really have a plan," and it's him being like, "Plans, thumb down," and then it's all photos. Like that's the whole. I think that'll be great.
I think it'd be fantastic.
I'm here for it, Dave. That's a whole new format. I like it.
Yeah. Yep. But no, awesome. There we go. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is your community building, the work that you're doing, that you've been doing over the last 20, 30 years in Australia to build the miniature painting community as you go. So first off, you sent me this one.
Yep.
And it was like, hang on a second. What's the story behind it? What's the welcome home? Where's the crimson brush?
So let me give you a little rundown of the Australian display painting scene. So obviously we had Golden Demon back in Australia in the early 2000s, but I think around 2008 or 2009, it stopped. We didn't have the Golden Demon, we didn't have a games day, and we didn't really have any major painting competitions. There was smaller ones, but they didn't really have the reach. And Meg Maples,
something like that, yeah,
it's incredible. So the tyranny of distance is one of the major challenges we have in trying to bring people together. You know, going to Europe, you go to a European event and people can drive there from different countries.
Yeah. So
you can't do that in Australia. It takes, I drive for 14 hours to get to CanCon. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Can't you like, and for those of us who don't live in Australia, you also can't like drive across Australia, right? You have to like basically drive around the edge.
To go around. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. Like you couldn't do that. Like in the US, like
it's a bad idea to try.
Yeah. Right. Like don't get me wrong. There's parts of the US that like are not, super populated. Like a lot of the Southwest, like Arizona, Utah, like there's New Mexico. There's a lot of desert there, like Southern California, like especially like the eastern part of Southern California, like that's all desert. Like you don't want to drive there. But again, there are highways that kind of like cut through the middle, and there's like little kind of like spots of reality where you can like refill your car and do whatever. But like
Spots of
theoretically
reality.
in Australia, you cannot do that. Like that's crazy to me.
It's not a good plan. Yeah, the outback in Australia is very big and very vast, and there is not a lot there. So you go around. You go around the outside along the eastern seaboard, down, and then through. But when we're talking about trying to bring a community together, that's a big challenge for us. So we've focused a lot on trying to broaden the appeal of the event by doing a lot of live streaming. So we actually live stream the whole weekend. We have interviews with painters and demonstrations. And one thing we've done, which I don't think has been done anywhere else, is we actually live stream the judging of the event. So if you go back and look at my YouTube over the last 5 years, you can see the judging stream from each year where we have our judges sitting in front of a camera and presenting the model to the stream and making their deliberations on camera. It's a hugely useful resource for people that are trying to understand what judges are looking for. And as you can see, we've had some incredible judges. That's Albert Moretto Font, who is the Slayer Sword winner from last year with one of the most crazy pieces you'll ever see. We've got Pietrek, who is the guy from Nico Galaxy who does that, who's also an absolutely unbelievable painter. People probably don't know. And then Alexei Karalou, who is the previous year's winner and one of the best painters in Australia. So that's our judging panel from this year that's just gone. This year we did trim down the judging a little bit because the previous year it went for something like 7 hours. So we changed it. But yeah, so we try to really connect with people across Australia and broaden the community by showing everyone what this is like. And we've seen an exponential growth in entries to the event and people coming and just awareness of the show. So yeah, it's something I'm really proud of. It's been 5 years now of the Crimson Brush, and I think it's synonymous with Australian display painting. But a lot of things have come out of that have also been really amazing for the display painting community in Australia, which is the guilds. Did you want me to talk about them, Dave, or do you want to ask some questions?
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, I know Sebastian Archer and the work that he did sort of building the Sydney Painters Guild. But when we were talking earlier, we talked about I mean, one of the photos that we showed earlier, let me just click back to it. You got the Canberra Display Painters Guild sign in the background there saying like we meet every month kind of thing. So it's like, oh, okay, that's another guild. Is there something like that going on in every city across Australia? So
yeah, so as a kind of a result of the hobby explosion that we had a few people sort of come together, and what happened early on in Australia was all of the stuff came through me. I say that with as little ego as I possibly can because I didn't enjoy it. But anytime a person would come over from another country to teach classes, it's very hard for someone to organize classes from another country when the time zones are so different, right? So I would organize the classes, I would organize the venues, I would take payments, I would organize the accommodation for the artist, and I would help them with all of that stuff. And I did that for probably about 10 artists coming over to teach. And then I was organizing Crimson, and then I was judging at some of the other events that we had. And so there was a few people who wanted to take on a bit of that responsibility and I want to help out. And one of those was Jared Clifford, who's a guy who lives in Sydney. And he was so motivated that he decided to put together a guild of people that wanted to get together and talk about display painting every month, which is the formulation of the Sydney Display Painters Guild, which is him, Sebastian Archer, a lot of other incredible painters in Australia. And that has morphed into this juggernaut that's happening across Australia now, where we have these guilds that meet up every month across all of the major cities. And those people are now responsible for organizing classes, promoting the hobby. I do nothing now other than Crimson, which I'm also taking a step back from this year. So it's been awesome to see the growth and the evolution of the Australian display painting scene. And I'm really proud of what it's become. We've produced some of the best artists in the world. Dave Colwell would be in the conversation for best artists in the world.
Yeah.
And then we've got guys like Sebastian Archer, who's been miniature painting royalty for 20 years. We're really fortunate, and everyone's very welcoming and really just wants more people to be involved in this great hobby.
There is a non-zero chance that the Army Painter factory team will be represented at CanCon. So I know that Heresy is planning on going, but he's trying to talk Courtney from Canada, Phil from Atlanta, and myself to go and hang out. And I was like, we'll see, because isn't that in January?
It's in January. It's in the hottest part of Australia, and it's sometimes it's 40 degrees at CanCon.
So 110.
Awesome. I mean, I'm assuming, and maybe I shouldn't, that it's indoors and there's AC.
It's indoors.
It's indoors, yeah.
That seems like a bad mix.
It's more CB, Crimson Brush, rather than air conditioning.
That seems not great. But yeah,
I've got photos on my phone of dudes playing Warhammer in their undies because it got so hot in the convention hall that they stripped down to their Reg Grundies and they're just throwing dice.
Yep.
Well, they'll be there. I know that, like I said, Heresy's going for sure. Obviously, like that's a big one he does. I forget, is he in Sydney?
Heresy's in Goulburn.
Okay.
Yep.
Which is halfway between Sydney and Canberra.
Yeah, so he'll be there, and then Phil has himself convinced that he's going, so he'll probably be there. Excellent. Courtney and I are kind of trying to figure out if we can swing it, but we'll see.
It is a wonderful event, and the convention itself is a lot of fun. It's a very uniquely Australian experience. I would highly recommend it.
Yep.
Every international artist that's come out to both Crimson and CanCon has just commented on what a very different vibe it is at our event to European events. We just have, we're very focused on the community, and Crimson is very focused on how can we help people become a part of this, and what can we do to ensure everyone's having an amazing time and being a part of this community. So Albert was blown away by our scene and the strength of the painting, but also just the strength of the community. So it's worth coming out. I'm obviously heavily biased, but I'm sure Natalia, who's in the chat, will agree with me that it's a special time. So get on board, mate. Come on out.
Again, it's not that we don't want to. It's logistically, can we pull it off? So.
Yeah, it's been 25 years, I think, since I was there. I was there in 2001. But
it's time, Dave. It's time to come back.
Maybe. We'll see. But
you gotta get up the bull roar and summon him. I've seen the movie. I know how he does it.
Absolutely awesome. But I think, well, I'm going to say huge kudos to you and to all the other folks in Australia that are putting in this effort to build the community, grow the community, to develop, to people who are excited to learn and work on it and come together as a group, as a community. Really exciting stuff to see. Well done.
Yeah, no, it's something I'm very proud of, and
you should be, for sure.
I look forward to hopefully continuing to do that over the next 10 more years or longer until I'm dead.
Let's go for 30 years. How about that?
Okay, 30 sounds good.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. Next up. So this is another crazy thing that you've been involved in, not just painting for the last 30 years, building a huge community and doing incredibly impressive dioramas and massive scenes, but Miniature Masters, which is it's a crazy thing, right? The whole thing's a crazy concept, but it's something that in the miniature painting community we've been talking about since probably the first Chopped or whatever came before that, whatever the Master Chef, Iron Chef, all that sort of stuff, all the cooking shows really is what kicked it off. And then finally somebody went ahead and did it. Squidmar Miniatures channel, so Emil and Lucas and the team there put this together, and you got to be a part of it. How was that?
Yeah, well, so we had to apply. You had to apply to be a part of the show, and I I remember talking to my girlfriend about it, and I said, "Do you think I should apply? You know, I don't feel like I'm good enough. Maybe it would be a waste of time. But at the same time, I'm very quick, so maybe that'll suit what they're trying to do." And in the end, I decided that I'd throw my hat in the ring. And I was very fortunate that those guys actually came out to Australia a few years ago for an event, and I got to meet them and spend a bit of time with them, which was really nice. And I think that maybe helped my cause a little bit because they knew me, they'd spoken to me, they knew I'd probably be okay in front of the camera and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, I applied. It was a pretty rigorous process. I think I went through it four different stages. I had an interview with them and had to respond to some questions and stuff. And but that happened in Feb, and filming started in April. So I found out that I was going early March, and had basically 4 weeks, and then bang, you're in Sweden, having this incredible experience. So it's been one of the coolest experiences of my life. And you know, to be 43 years old and be able to do something like this, it still, you know, gets me fired up about the hobby. I love it. I'm so blessed and so grateful that I got that opportunity. So yeah, we flew out to Sweden. We all got there to Umeå. There's 8 artists, including myself, that were flown there, and then the 2 judges as well. And we were all staying in the same hotel. So we all got to meet each other. We didn't know who else was going, so they didn't tell us. So the very first day, I got there first out of everyone because it's 40-something hours for me to get there. It was a long day.
Long trip. That's a long week, right?
That's insane.
Yeah, I flew out at Friday at 10 a.m. and then I didn't get to Umeå until Sunday morning. So it was a long, long time. Yep. But anyway, I was sitting in my hotel room and I get this message from Natalia, and she's like, "Hey, are you in the same time zone as me right now?" And I said, "I might be." And she obviously knew straight away that I was there. So she said, "We're downstairs in the lobby." So I was like, "Woo!" And we ran downstairs, and I hadn't seen her in like 7 years. So it was just the best. Gave her a massive hug and then started to meet the rest of the people that came along. And it was just an incredible group of people first, and artists second. They did such an amazing job with the people that they picked for the show, both the judges and the contestants. Yep. We had this amazing bond very early on. We were all together, staying on the same floor. We were all on the 8th floor together. And yeah, we had a very hectic 2 weeks. So we were filming for 2 weeks, and this is the trailer. So we had the studio where Emil does all of his normal content. Yep. And they had built a purpose-built studio for set for the show inside one of their floors. Yep. But they did a lot of filming when the contestants weren't there, like the judges and whatever. So they hired a trailer for us outside. And so we would spend probably 30% of our time out here in the trailer, and there's always snacks and food and stuff there. But yeah, we all got to get very, very close. It was just one of the coolest experiences I think I've had in my whole life to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that they, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. So I've had friends who have been on competition shows. Like a friend of ours was just on, was it Top Chef, I think? And he's a chef from Quincy. So he, flew out there, and obviously now it's on TV, but they did the whole thing where like he gets there and they, they're like, "Hey, you can't go online." Like you can call your family and stuff occasionally. They give you X amount of time, but like they don't want you online. They don't want you streaming. They don't want you like messaging anybody. And then even if you get knocked off in like week 1, like you have to stay during the entire thing because they don't want somebody to go home. And then you're like, "Oh, well, obviously, Daryl didn't win or whatever." So it's like they were there for the whole time. I'm assuming it was something like that. Like you were there for like the duration kind of thing.
Yeah. So we had to stay from a certain day to a certain day. We were all required to be there. So if you were unfortunate enough to get knocked out early, as Natalia was, there was some stuff to do. But one of the pieces of feedback we gave to the guys was that they maybe needed to have a little bit of a better plan for people that got knocked out early. But very fortunately, because we were all so close, as soon as there was 2 people knocked out, they got to spend time together explore the city and holiday around. And it was a very beautiful place to be and with beautiful people to spend time with. So yeah, but we were there for 2 weeks basically, long days of filming. I could talk about the filming. Yeah, so we got picked up from the hotel at 7 a.m. And we would then get driven to the set, which is about 15 minutes away, and then we would head to our trailer. They would set up for the day. Filming would usually start about 8, and then we would do 8 hours of the challenge with usually a couple of breaks. Then we would all go away back to the trailer, and then the judges would film their bit, and then we'd get brought back in, and then we'd film another bit. And then after that, we would then have to...
sorry.
You're right.
I thought we had a shot of you in the car. But anyway.
Yeah, we would then have to do syncs. So we'd have to do the talking headshots that you see. They were filmed at the end. So we would most days we wouldn't get back to the hotel till 9. So we were talking about 14-hour days for the days that we were doing the show. And there was, I think 12 filming days in that time.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild, that kind of schedule. But to make it cost efficient, that's something you've got to do, right? You got to do it in that sort of.
And there's a lot of aspects to that you don't see when you're watching the show. The show's edited down to 45 minutes. The fatigue factor of painting for 10 hours, 12 hours, and filming and being on. For most of us who are introverts, that was a huge demanding task to be a part of that experience. And I know, for example, Amalia, she was way outside of her comfort zone, and just meeting people in the first place is hard for her. So for her to try and be a part of the show and be fun and engaging was a huge challenge. So to be able to continue to produce your best pieces whilst contending with that was a factor that people don't really even consider when watching the show, but it was a huge factor for us.
We talked a lot, obviously, everybody on the factory team, we have our own channel on Discord, and all 9 of us or whatever are in there. And it's really funny because again, just when you and Dave were talking earlier about the way you guys paint, just your process, right? Just from a process standpoint, it's okay, so you're gonna have 8 different people that have completely different processes. And then we were trying to compare it to other shows when it first got announced, before we got to see it. We were trying to figure out okay, how are they going to stick this landing, right? Because from our experience painting, we were all okay, so it's either you can't really do it like a cooking show, because most recipes take 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It's hey, so we're all going to make a cake, and you're okay, well, I need an hour for the dough to prove, and then I have to make the thing, and then it takes an hour for it to cook, and then I gotta let it cool. But you're talking 3 to 4 hours tops, right? And a lot of that is just waiting while you're well, I'll let the cake cook while I do something else. The closest show that I could think of that's like what we do would be a show do you guys know that show Forged in Fire?
Yep.
Where they're all blacksmiths and stuff? We're that's different because they have to make something. And to your point, it's the show is 45 minutes, right? And then it's but obviously these guys did not forge a sword in 45 minutes. They give them their first assignment, and it's okay, so the first assignment, it's a knockout. So it's this is really easy. Everybody has 3 hours, and then they do that, and then they judge whoever's best, and then they come back another day and they do the second challenge, and that's 6 hours or something, or 8 hours, and then they go home. And then the guys, the people who make it into the finals, it's you have a week. You get to go home and work in your own studio or forge or whatever, and then they come back and judge it. And again, there's a lot of B-roll and all that kind of stuff, but that was the only thing we could think of. We're that kind of makes sense, because that's really time consuming, and it's a huge investment of your kind of your brain power and your creativity and stuff. That was the only thing we could think of that kind of made sense. But to your point, you guys weren't really afforded that, because it was okay, we're here for 2 weeks. We got to make it cost effective. We're going to work for basically 10-hour days, 12 days in a row. I was I'm an extrovert. And even I would be this is a lot. I don't know if I can do all this.
One other thing that factors into that, which you talked about just there, is not having your own setup and your own studio. Having to use unfamiliar equipment, unfamiliar desks. The desk was about 4 inches too low for me. Uncomfortable chairs. They didn't let us have chairs with backs because it would have caused problems with the shots of the filming. So we're on stools with no backs.
Oh,
so
God.
try painting like that for 10 hours and tell me how you go. Unfamiliar paints, unfamiliar paintbrushes, unfamiliar airbrushes. Everything was just completely new. And having to contend with that was another factor that, again, they don't really talk about that much in the show. But it was a real endurance challenge, more so than anything else.
Well, and also, like, even for you and for, I'm assuming most of the people were not from that time band. Like, for everybody else, you're like for me, I'm like, what? I'd be like, what time is it? Like, it's exactly 12 hours apart from where I normally am. So I'm like,
Josh and I, we had the biggest jet lag problems. We both were waking up at 5 a.m. every day. And so we agreed that we'd go out for a walk together. So we went out every morning at 6 a.m. We walked around the town, which was -3 degrees, of course, at the time.
Right, yeah.
So you get this brisk air in your face. But we just chat about life and the show and the experience and, all sorts of stuff. It was amazing. It's actually one of my favorite memories is the little walks that Josh and I had over the filming. We did that every day. Unfortunately, as you saw, he was knocked out in episode 3. But he still got up every day and went for a walk with me, which was amazing. And we talked and chatted. And these are some of the most wonderful people I've met in my life. Trauma brings people together, right? We all know shared trauma does something to people.
trauma bonding, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
So we were going through this experience together, and so we all bonded, and we have a chat group that we still chat in. Our little nickname for ourselves was the M&Ms. We weren't allowed to talk about miniature masters to anyone. Obviously, we've signed NDAs, so our chat group was called M&Ms. A couple of them have got M&M tattoos now, like little lollies. So it's an amazing experience, and probably the thing that I'll appreciate most when I look back on is getting to know those people and spend time with those people. And I should also include Andy and Borja in that, because they were staying at the same hotel. They were in the buses with us to and from, and they were just there's Borja and Andy. I'm sitting next to Andy having a chat, and you only really see the judges being critical or confrontational, challenging during the show. But they were there by our side every day, really trying to help us. They wanted us to be as successful as we could. And then at the end of the day, we would have this debrief over dinner, or we'd be chatting about what had happened. And it was really lovely to have that experience. So Andy and I had met at SMC. And so getting to see him again for the first time in 10 years was just amazing, incredible.
I mean, I would assume, like anything, like Dave and I've talked to this before, like all the shows that we do, my favorite part of the shows is seeing all my friends and getting to interact with people. Like that's like, I'm enjoying myself playing in the tournaments and doing lessons and whatever, but like it's seeing everybody. Like that's why the hobby isn't the hobby, or our hobby isn't the hobby without the community. And like,
exactly.
So, I gotta ask, Trent, how tall are you?
6'7".
I get it. I see.
That's why it's big Dano, mate.
Yeah, nice. But no, that's absolutely cool. I think it's one of those things where there are so many different ways that the whole show could have run, and it's just like, okay, we're going to see how it plays out. But knowing that the 8 of you, the 10, 12, it's like everybody who was involved really going through that process together, forming those friendships, forming those bonds is just really cool to know.
Yeah.
It's I think it's one of those things where, because we're all drawing from, like, it shows me drawing from a community it's relatively small, and as you say, like, you got to meet, you knew Natalia and you knew Andy, and because it's a very focused sort of niche thing that we do, it's very easy to connect with people who also do it. It's very different too. It's perhaps we don't see behind the scenes of something like Forged in Fire, but it's not. We're not. Even though this is a competition show, I guess it's been put together as a competition show. Yeah. You didn't. Did you feel that you were competing against other people, or you were just in a room painting going through the same trauma as other people.
Let me tell you that. So I don't think we made a pact or we agreed to it, but I think we all just love the hobby. And so we wanted to represent the best in the hobby, all of us as artists. There was definitely a component of the production that was looking to try and not incite drama, but they're obviously trying to make a program that was interesting to watch. And so they brought in a production manager from TV, from a TV background, that was external to Squidmar's crew. And he was the guy who was interviewing us in the sinks, and he's a legend. His name's Jimmy. He's a fucking legend. But he was always asking questions and trying to like get us to talk shit on other contestants, and just like needling us for little things to try and make the content more interesting.
Yeah. And
I think it's sort of what we've seen as the show's been released, and I'm sure Emil and their team would say that this was their first time that they made some mistakes that they've learned from. Even during the process itself of filming, it was very iterative and very collaborative between us and them as to what they were creating. And I think they realized, maybe that angle of that really heavy competition, it just wasn't landing the way that they wanted, because we weren't competitive. We wanted everyone to do well.
Yeah.
And so I think that has maybe changed a little bit about how they've edited some of the later episodes, some of the feedback, and will maybe change how they approach the show going forward if there is another season. Because we are a community. We wanted each other to do well. We wanted to help each other. We wanted to, represent the thing that we love about the hobby, which is seeing other artists doing cool things. Yeah. And we all had opportunities to potentially impact other people negatively in the competition. Yeah. And most of us elected to not do that. I thought about it a lot, though. I wanted to have a really good villain arc where I was
wow,
you twirling your mustache.
Yeah, I had said right off the bat, I think that I feel like the show, and again, like it is a different thing, but I feel like the show would have landed a lot better and been a lot more promotable if they had gone like my wife watches a ton of like trash TV. She loves it. Like and all these shows where like it's Real Housewives and these women are screaming at each other, and to your point, there's a whole bunch of villain arcs going on. But then she also loves the Great British Baking Show, which is completely the opposite. It is everybody's on the same page. Everybody wants everybody to do well. Everybody has like everybody's best interest at heart. And I feel like if they had gone in that route, I feel like the show would just be 1,000 times better. Like, just because you're like, we are all working together, right? If it's the three of us and like 8 other people and we're all painting, like, and someone needs help, I'd be like, oh yeah, like you can borrow my glue, or yeah, here's my brush. Like, we would all do that because we're all working on a project, and like that's part of the fun for all of us. But yeah, I just don't understand why they tried to make it really. I mean, I get it. I'm sure that the TV guy was like, listen up, guys, I have a great idea, but like everybody else had to be like, yeah, we're not doing that. Like that's not going to work in this instance.
I think it is very much that thing where it's the first time trying it. So, and because there are so many possibilities that as you said, not all of them are going to stick perfectly, but I think it's where we as viewers have the opportunity to say, hey, would you consider this for next time around?
To their credit, like they were updating and changing things on the fly based on our feedback and our experience, and it was the first time for them, and it was the first time for us. And I am so proud of what was created, the show. I'm so proud of what everyone did and how we represented ourselves. Everyone, the artists, the judges were just amazing to be a part of. So I like to assume positive intent, one of my rules. And, I think that they had the best intention to create an amazing show. I actually am a fan of the elimination format.
Okay.
I think if they went for a leaderboard, like a lot of people have been talking about, let's do a leaderboard and have everyone stay. I think you'd get into this issue where there would be 4 or 5 people that just can't win.
Sure.
It'd be like a tournament. Yeah. It'd be a tournament. After the first couple of rounds, you'd be like, well, I can't catch up now.
You can't win. And so but then you're still having to turn up and try and motivate yourself to do stuff. And I don't want to do that. It's not that winning mattered, but it's just having to go in every time. And like, it's at the end of a sports season, right? The teams at the bottom of the ladder get absolutely pumped. They get flogged because they just don't care anymore. It's hard to care as much when you have no possible, outcome. And it heavily benefited people that were more skilled across a wider variety of things. I've been doing the hobby for 30 years. There was no challenge that they gave me that I was like, oh, I've never done this before. I've done everything. So it benefits me to go to a leaderboard. But I think you get better art by doing the elimination. I think you get more people pushing themselves and knowing, I've never done this before. I'm gonna try and do something crazy. I'm gonna push myself, because if I don't, I'll be at the bottom and I'll be knocked out. So I think you would get better art by doing the elimination format.
Yeah.
I don't know what they'll do, but
I do wonder if you could do something like
well, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you there for a second, Jake. The Great British Bake Off is also elimination.
Yep.
But it's everything else that goes around it.
Yeah. I think that's the goal that they'll be aiming for next season, if they do a next season.
Yeah.
I will say, I do think you guys are, to your point, I think one of the hardest parts was the fact that you guys are kind of abandoned in the middle of nowhere, and whoever gets knocked out first doesn't get to do anything. I get Lark watches a lot of the, I think it's Top Chef. So Top Chef has a cool mechanic where if somebody gets knocked out, the first person who gets knocked out, they go to Last Chance Kitchen. And what that means is that they have, obviously the first week nothing happens because it's just them. But then the next week when somebody gets knocked out, the two of them have like a mini challenge to see if they can kind of like hang on, and whoever wins that stays. So if you win, you're done. But if you win, you stay. But if you lose, you're done. And so they've had weeks where like the first person will get knocked out, and then the second person gets knocked out and knocks them out. And then the second person knocks out the next person, and then knocks out the next person, and then knocks out the next person. And then when they get to the semis, that person gets to play back in.
Gets fed back in.
But again, they don't win. They just get in for like the semis. So it goes from like 18 people down to 6, and they get a shot to get into the top 6. And then from that point on, it's elimination. And I don't think anybody's ever won coming out of that, but like people have come back and been really strong and, beat the next like 5 challenges and made it to the top 3 or something. So it's just kind of cool. But to your point, it would be like something else for you guys to do while you're still there.
The biggest issue for me is we didn't get to see Natalia's art, right? You know how good Natalia is. We didn't get an opportunity to see that, and that sucks. So maybe it's a hybrid where for the first few weeks it's just there's no points, there's no elimination. We're just doing cool art, and then it gets into a little bit more cutthroat as the competition goes on. One of the big pieces of feedback I gave them was the care that needs to be given to those people that were knocked out, because very early on, everyone was so heavily focused on the show, and so Natalia, Josh, they didn't have a lot of stuff to do. Everyone was so focused. They came to the studio those days, so they were there. But I think that there was an opportunity to maybe put together something for those people that weren't participating in the show, because we were forced to be there, and it was still a beautiful place and still a beautiful experience. But for those people, I'm sure it was a little bit less fun for a little bit of that time. As more people got knocked out, it obviously gets less and less difficult. And they all had amazing time. They were traveling around to coffee shops while I'm slaving over a stool with no back, trying to paint models on it.
That sounds like hell. I'm all set.
And they're at their coffee shops drinking their coffees and eating their cakes.
Speaking of models you painted,
Ursharan is awesome.
So if you go to in the notes below, or actually you can see it on screen there as well. I snagged this from Trent's Instagram. There's a link below. You can check it out. But this is the piece you painted that was on last week's episode 5. So Ursharan, this is the one that was where it was different folks were your clients, your commission clients.
Yes. They gave us a color scheme that we had to follow from the client. And then the client came through halfway through the challenge like an absolute pest and said, here, I've also decided this is also a Bretonian model now. So add a fleur-de-lis. Sure, Borja. Whatever, mate.
Going back to something you said earlier. So I'm just going to say, going back to something you said earlier, where I'll take a commission if it's a model that I want to paint.
Yeah.
And I have complete creative control over it.
Yeah.
How did you feel about this going through? Because I feel that's not at all what you had.
This is not what I would do normally. No. I put myself in the show knowing that it would be forcing myself to do things that I haven't done for a long time. I don't do commissions much. I don't paint Warhammer much. I do a lot more stuff that brings me joy. But I thought it would be nice to go back, step back into a world that I used to live in and do some stuff that was a big part of my growing up in the hobby. So yeah, I was expecting there to be more Warhammer, to be honest, than maybe there was. Obviously, the majority of stuff that we've seen in the show so far has been Warhammer, and then some busts.
Yep.
Squidmar's a Warhammer channel, right? If you went into it expecting it wasn't going to be mostly Warhammer, you're cracked. So
you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. But I used to paint Warhammer armies. I used to play Warhammer tournaments. I traveled to Europe for the European Team Championships for Warhammer. I love Warhammer. It's been a huge part of my life.
I feel like this model fits into what you've been doing, though, too. I mean, size-wise, you're like, he's about the right size. If you're just painting him as a single model, he's a 75mm guy.
This banged straight into my wheelhouse. This one was just, here, paint a model like what you normally paint and do it in a short time frame. Okay, cool. I'll just do exactly what I normally do.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So that was nice. The some of the other challenges they've been pretty similar. They've just been, paint this model. Here's a compressed time frame. It's just been really good for me. The competition has suited the way that I approach the art form, which has been good. But this was definitely the best piece that I produced to this point, is all I'll say.
Cool.
And
fantastic.
It's really good. I liked it a lot.
Awesome. Well, I'm just looking at the time and cognizant of the fact that your girlfriend wants you to spend time with her on
yes.
public holiday. So what we'll do, I also did have the other minis here, but you can definitely go through, check them out in the episode, and also get some close-ups on Trent's Instagram.
You get a good amount of Warhammer in there too.
He's also got there's a great video that you've done sort of after each episode, talking about your thoughts and on the process. So definitely check those out.
Oh, Brandon wanted to know, do you get to keep the models that you painted from the show?
So they're currently at Squidmar HQ. They needed to keep them to do all the photos and the glamour shots. They said maybe we might get to keep them. I'm not sure. If they decide to keep them, that's fine. We walked in with that. But there was a few pieces that I would love to have. And I also was just giving him out. I said, oh, yeah, if we get to keep them, you can have this. So I'm giving this one to Amalia, apparently. She really liked it. So
Cool.
I might get this one. She'll get that one.
Nice. That's cool. Awesome. But
I am happy to answer any questions. If anyone's got any questions about Miniature Masters, I'll answer what I can. Obviously, there's still 2 episodes to go. I can't speak about what happens in those, but happy to talk about anything else. If anyone wants to know anything about the show, happy to ask. But yes, we've only got a couple of minutes left, I think. So.
Yeah. While we're going to see if other folks have got questions, I think we'll jump into have a look at the piece that you're working on at the moment.
Yes. So I'm trying to get this done for Saturday, Queensland Model Hobby Expo. It's a Lizard Man diorama. The models are 75mm models from a company called Aradia, and they're all Lizard Men. They're all just inspired by Lizard Men. And I don't know if you remember, Dave, you probably would. There was a diorama that Mike McVeigh did set in a Lustrian temple with like those conquistador guys from Astaria.
Oh yeah, the vampires.
On
a thing, and he'd been shot by a guy with a blunderbuss, and it was this Lizardman temple. Like that is what I wanted to do. Just that.
I think there was a guy being pushed into it, like having
into a sacrificial pit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So many of my things are callbacks to the world of Warhammer that I was inspired by.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all awesome models. So there's
I look at this and I like how you're like, I don't really paint a lot of Warhammer models.
I'm gonna grab that because it's over here. I'll grab it now.
Like it literally, it's Seraphon.
Oh, for sure. Well,
so you can see how big it is because it's sitting right here. Here it is. Here is me in the camera.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is the diorama. It is as big as my head.
Very cool.
Well,
how heavy is it?
How heavy?
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah. There we go. That's awesome.
That's great. Is that going to be a god engine? You're going to have the big crystal on the dinosaur's back?
No, this has got a chick on a throne. So I was
Okay.
painting her last night. So yeah, I think we're going to be finished to a level that I'm happy enough to submit it. It won't be completed yet, but yeah, this will be on display at the Queensland Model Hobby Expo this coming weekend. Hopefully,
Nice.
Awesome. That is super cool. One question I've got is when you're talking about being inspired by different pieces of artwork or dioramas, that kind of thing. Is it a case of you go, oh yeah, I remember that. I really love that. And then you go and have a look at all the photos of it.
Yep.
Or do you, okay, you do it that way. Okay. There's a lot of times when I'm inspired by something and it's like, oh yeah, I really loved how that looked. And then I don't look at it at all. So it's just it's more my impression of what it was.
I love the miniature hobby. I love art. I all of my stuff that I follow on social media is just miniature art.
Yep.
So, yeah, anytime I see something that I like, I'll save it and look back on it. And yeah, that one's so good. That Lustrian diorama. The other ones I love. There was, do you remember the Warhammer Quest diorama that Mike painted?
Yeah.
Fuck, I want to do something like that so bad.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
So good.
I can just picture it now. But yeah,
sometime soon we'll get around to a Warhammer Quest diorama. The next one's going to be an Orc tribe. I've already planned it out.
Oh, cool, excellent. Where are the models coming from?
I've got about 10 from all different ranges. Everyone does cool Orc models, so
right, yeah. But fantastic. I'm excited to see that done.
Thank you, mate. Yes,
that's cool.
It's fun. I love doing cool stuff.
Yeah, and you do it well.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Fantastic. I think so because we had last week we had a huge roundup of community models.
Yeah, we can save models for next week.
It's much smaller this week, so we'll save them for next week. We'll do double up next week. But it's been a very cool conversation. Thank you very much, Trent. It's
Trent, it was awesome talking to you, man.
Thank you. I'm sure I'll both see you at Crimson Brush next year.
There we go.
We'll see. I'll try. Like I said, it's not like I don't want to go. It's just whether or not we can make it happen.
I'm just saying, Jake talks a big game. So,
please, which one of us has done an international tournament this year, Dave?
Which one of us has been to Australia several times?
You're from Australia, dude.
Still counts.
Yep.
We'll see. Still only counts as one. Yeah. See, Heresy's talking about CanCon right now.
Yep. There we go. Yep. Absolutely. But no, fantastic. Yeah. So I think we'll probably wrap it up there. Thank you very much.
So before everybody goes anywhere, there was a question in the chat. I'll read it for you guys, and you can let me know if you want to tackle it. But anybody still listening, make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the stuff, share us wherever you want. Huge thanks to Trent being on. But the question was, Bundy Wow said, I'm not a good painter. I compensate by using a magnifying glass and being very careful. A Space Marine size mini will take me about 20 odd hours. I suspect I'm probably going down the wrong path. Any tips? So I wrote, it really depends on what you're trying to do. If you enjoy spending 20 hours on a model and that's your hobby, then there's nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to crank on armies, maybe that's not ideal, but I mean, I don't know what their goal is. So, but I don't know if you guys
I can answer that very, very simply. In knowing what your goal is important, right? Having a clear vision for what you want to achieve out of painting your art is important. But if you want to get quicker, there's a lot of ways. Airbrushing is great. Using a bigger brush than you think you should is always going to help you get faster. I see painters using tiny little detail brushes. Get rid of that. Get a big size 2. You'll get the same point, but you'll carry more paint. You'll paint a lot quicker. Paint will dry out less quickly. It's the best. There's lots of ways to get quicker. Contrast paints are fantastic. Speed paints. There's lots and lots of ways to be quicker. Come and chat to me on stream if you want. I can talk a lot more.
Yep. Excellent. And folks can find all your links through your Instagram.
Yeah, I'm terrible at social media. I'm somewhere on there. The Big Dano Paints is my Instagram. My girlfriend told me I need to update my links. I haven't done that yet, but yeah, I'll make sure I get that. But I've got YouTube and Twitch and stuff. I paint lots of toys on all those things.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. Thank you very much again, Trent, and thanks everybody for joining in the chat. Oh my goodness, 255 comments. So lots of folks jumping in there with thoughts and questions. For anybody watching the show afterwards, definitely drop a comment and let us know who you think is going to win Miniature Masters overall.
nice.
Can I put a comment?
Sure, 100%. There's no money involved. So
yeah, you can submit a comment, but not only who you think is going to win, but why. No, not why. Just explain why you think it's going to be Trent. Yeah, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah. It's who you think is going to win and why you think it's going to be Trent. That's the actual comment.
That's the answer.
Cool. Listen, thank you again for being here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We hope you guys had a good time. We will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Dave, do we know who our guest is yet? Should we want to show that off or?
We do not know that yet.
Oh, I love it. This season's great. We're all about secrets. Who knows? Who knows what it could be? It could be anything. I don't even know.
They got big shoes to fill after this, big fella.
Yeah, 100%.
They do. We're gonna find the smallest miniature painter we can.
Trent, you are now. That makes you're the second person in the industry that is taller than me.
Very good. It's
you and John Kowaleski. You two are 6'7".
Okay, Kirill Kanaev is taller than me, believe it or not.
Who?
Kirill Kanaev.
I don't think I've ever met him. He's not real unless I meet him.
You haven't met him, but spectacular painter.
Nice. Yeah, he's not real unless I meet him.
He's real. And Eric Swinson's quite tall, but he's not taller than me. Jared Clifford is also the same height as me. So yeah, I can introduce you to a few, mate. I remember people.
Dude, I dig it. Like it's great. Like whenever we're hanging out a show, it's usually me. Last time was me, Matt Ryan, and Big Rick. And Rick Ankeny is only like 6'4", and Matt Ryan and I are both 6'6". And then John Kowaleski came over, so it was like a whole bunch of us, like at the 6.5 feet mark. It was a good time. So,
Emil's quite tall as well, believe it or not. He's 6'6", I think, also.
Nice.
All right. Yep.
Awesome. Well, everybody else be safe out there. For all the short kings, keep at it. Like everybody's a painter. It's all good. We need there's brushes of different sizes for a reason. We will see you guys next week. And as always, do not forget to build, paint, play.
Shut up and sit down.